And I want to just encourage us to like work to absorb it, because it's a Saturday and you've all like left some beautiful life to show up and sit together here. And you're doing that for a variety of reasons, some peculiar to just you and some of them we all share. But one of the main reasons that we're all here is because we know that there's a lot of suffering. We know there's a lot of problems out there. And we've been called by the plants, however you contextualize that, because we're here to help.
My experience this year has been really wholesome. I've gotten to meet so many incredible people. Feels like when we come together on our retreats, our weekend classes, it feels like being family.
My experience has been beautiful, transformative, and life-changing.
First year of herbalism school here at Arbor Vitae has been a little bit overwhelming. Definitely feeling like I'm struggling trying to wear all the hats and integrate everything that I'm learning into my personal practice, as well as like sharing that knowledge with other people. I would definitely summarize it as a work in progress.
I think the amount of empowering knowledge that I've gotten here is just so unbelievable, yet at the same time so overwhelming because I don't yet have a grasp on a lot of it. But it's made me feel so far, I guess 3/4 of the way into the first year, that I'm on the right path, and I'm so happy that I'm here, and I really look forward to continuing my journey.
This year has been really surprising in many ways. I knew that coming here was something that was meant to happen, and I was feeling very called to work with herbs, but I suppose the things that I've been open up to have been super unexpected. It's really been super important for where I'm at in my life right now.
What is a subject or something that you've learned that has been exciting to you, or that you've been surprised that you're excited about?
I have been surprised that I like making tinctures and syrups as much as I enjoy doing surgery.
That's great.
And that's high. I love doing surgery.
For me, I think I tend to gravitate towards the like energetic, like emotional space. So knowing that I connect to like the flower essence stuff, and then like finding that as part of the Chinese medicine work has been really powerful. So like that just feels like a natural yes. And then I think in terms of like an actual learning edge where I'm like, I have no fluency in this at all. The botany stuff has been really fun. Like, I don't know, the idea that you can like get to know a tree by looking at its like buds and bark just feels like getting to know a person by like taking their hand and like looking at their little fingertips, or like something so sweet and like this way of knowing that like I didn't have previously. So like that form of connection has really changed the way that I like take my walks.
The first thing that came to mind is connection. Connecting with people, connecting with plants, the seasons, communicating, because I feel like a very important part of the school is knowing like what things truly mean, their roots, the correct questions to ask, how to make safe spaces. So a lot of it has to do with connection and communication, whether it be energetically or just verbally.
Excited, botany, of course. You know, Richard's awesome.
Yeah.
So botany has definitely been like, yes, good, yes. you know, and then like once I, you know, done the plant walks and stuff, it's just like even more exciting and just like right at the front of the line, like let's go next tree, you know.
Just actually learning how to embrace and use the herbs for medicine, and then getting home and just like working with them. Like, even though my friends call me a witch, I don't care. It's just like, it feels like there holds so much power and so much energy, and just like learning how to use that for like the good and for like helping other people. It's just, I think that's one of my favorite things about school.
Do you plan on continuing the program?
I do. I want to be here all 3 years, and I hope to be connected to Arbor Vitae for a while.
Oh yes, I'm gonna be here year 2 and year 3 for sure.
There's no doubt about that.
I absolutely plan on continuing this program for the next 3 years.
Yes. I'm praying to God to complete this whole program.
Yes, absolutely. I am definitely doing year 2.
Yes, I found actually I have a new job that is open to me taking a day every week for the coming year. I was a little bit worried.
Yay. Me too.
Yeah, I definitely plan on continuing the program for the next few years. I will definitely go as far as I can.
Yeah, definitely. I plan to continue.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm committed to this for the entire 3 years. I don't know. I don't really care what I have to do to make it happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely plan on committing to the 3 years. I'm gonna have some major challenges coming up this upcoming year. So, but I'm gonna make it happen.
So, in that case, ideally, where do you see yourself at the end of this journey?
I have like this whisper of intuition about the year 2025, and ironically, that is the year we graduate. And I have moved 14 times, and I want to go home. I have not been home in a very, very, very long time. So I'm hoping, ironically, I'll be done with this program, and hopefully I'll be in a situation where I can go home and be this juggling maestro of my life that can handle having a home and making it into a home.
That's a hard question for me because I change my mind a lot, and sometimes it almost limits me more to try and like tell myself like this is the goal. Like my goal is to just further understand and integrate everything that I'm learning here in a way that helps me and helps other people, and to be creative and be kind, and whatever I do, like that is the foundation that I want to fuel me. I do see myself definitely working in a clinical sphere, and I would love to like have that be one of my bigger goals, but I also would love to do like workshops and just anything that allows me to connect with people, be creative, and build community. For 3 years of studying and being a part of this, I would like to be incorporating it, everything I've learned about herbs and plants, into my cooking and into what I do best, which is helping people and bringing people into more wholeness. So I'm not sure exactly what it's gonna look like yet, but so far I feel more equipped than before I started.
I would love to, and I think like one of like my purposes of the whole like program and taking this is not only like using the medicine, but also like learning to combine it with what I already know, which is nutrition and dietetics. I just think they go so well together, and just being able to help my patients using like these two tools to have a better lifestyle and just like embrace their health and their like longevity.
What I'd like to do is step further away from traditional science and more into the herbalism world, What that means, I don't know. I mean, I see some kind of, I've been an educator for a long time as well as a scientist. And I think education, community education is in my future. It just seems to come up in all these places, even at work. I have no idea what it would actually look like, but I hope that this is gonna help people and help people empower themselves using herbs.
Yeah, I see it as another layer to be able to work with people one-on-one. I have witnessed like such a lack of that, especially where I live. It's like really hard to find people to work with, especially at like an affordable rate. Probably like, I'm really excited to be able to offer that working one-on-one with people, because in my business now, like my herbal company, I'm like doing like mini consultations at farmers markets like every single week for free. So like, I would like to be able to be like, here's my card and you can actually come and see me now. And then also be like the one formulating like specific formulations. I've always like dreamed up making custom formulations, both for like skincare, topicals, and for internal consumption for people like directly. That's kind of always been my dream goal with the current business I have.
So I guess where I see myself, I haven't truly thought about it. When I first got accepted into the program, I had so many questions like, okay, am I supposed to be an herbalist? Like, am I supposed to do like clinical work as an herbalist? Like, I don't know what I'm doing with this. I feel like my answer for that is still pretty unchanged. I have no idea. I feel like in an ideal, logical world, it makes sense to apply my medical knowledge to helping people with like chronic illnesses using herbalism and with the help of the plants. But what that's gonna look like, or like what it will turn into, what I will call myself, I have no idea.
I think it's equally one of the trickiest parts about this journey, and also maybe the most grounding in a way, is that coming here has made me really comfortable with not knowing what happens next, which is not something that I generally feel in my life, where it's like, okay, I don't know what path I'm going to take. Similar to you, like I don't necessarily see myself as a clinical herbalist in the future, but I also recognize that I've had these small interactions with people in which I'm able to learn to support that, or I have learned different ways in which I'm able to support them, and it feels really good to empower people to kind of take ownership of their health and their body, and that's a really cool thing to kind of share with others. I fantasize about opening a bathhouse.
The version of myself that I hope I am at the end of this is like someone who is able to pay a lot of attention and be curious and not leap to like conclusions or try to fill the end of a sentence of like, oh, I know the answer to that one, but to just like be good at creating space for the questions, even for questions for people to get to the information they need for themselves. You know, I think herbalism, like therapy, obviously there's information that we hold and that we're pairing people with, but I think there's also a level of it where most of us kind of ultimately know what's best for us in terms of nutrition and food and sleep, and all of that is such a big part of it. It's providing the guidance for people to get to the answers from themselves.
So for me, that's been a question from even before I applied. What the hell am I going to do with this? And I had to kind of release that and not even have an answer. Like, I don't know. And that's okay. Like, I'm just going to let this unfold and stay open, which is how I try to approach everything, which drives my husband and family crazy. Because they want to plan, they want to know like what's going on, but like it matches me, and the outcome will reveal itself in time. And so I feel like we're almost in a year, and what looks like might happen is not what I would have imagined when we started in September. So with this new position I have, it looks like I would be able to incorporate herbalism into a medical practice.
I have been trying to pay attention to the places in my life where like striving or like visions of the future feel like a burden instead of an inspiration. And I think that in this space, like the things that feel the most grounding and supportive to me are about like actual relationship with the plants and continued deepening of connection for like what that means for me in my life entirely, as just like the way that I move in the world, deepening my understanding of my existence as part of this like deep web that is just like includes all things. And so like I have absolutely no idea what path happens in that space. Like I don't think straight lines are even possible in that space. So I think I have really kind of let go of knowing or expecting where I'll be at the end of this. I know what I want to feel is more confident and capable of like sitting with someone and holding good space for them when they tell me what's going on, and then having more of a proficiency in like, this plant can help you because of this, as opposed to like, oh, this plant that like, I think it does that. Like, I think I want more fluency and deepened skill in like, this is the plant for you and this is why. But beyond that, I have no idea.
I see myself pooling together all of the knowledge, all of the experience, all of the value that I will have gained from the journey, and using all of that to further my potential beyond.
Something I've been planning, like trying to not do is plan super far out, because it never happens that way in anything that I've done. But I do want to teach people about the energetics of the plant and really just relation with plants, and having that space where people can come and learn and touch and feel and see, smell, I guess all the senses. Making plant medicine clinical wise, I definitely would love to work with clients. I don't feel that I am ready for that, and I see like there's a little tiny pin needle dot, like a light back somewhere over there, that eventually I'll draw closer to me, and that could possibly be working with clients. But just continuing my education for myself, learning myself, my relationship with this earth and the plants, and just keeping it open, seeing where it goes from there.
I see myself being able to have a more defined relationship with herbs, a deeper relationship with plants, being able to look at a plant and identify it and know what its actions may be, really being able to understand these plants and be able to suggest them to others in a way that makes sense for them, not just because I know the actions, but because I know I'm able to identify that person's just their patterns and their energetic constitution, and be able to find the right plant for them. I see myself knowing my mission, knowing my purpose. I see myself expressing freely and just fluidly. I see myself just really embodying my own unique expression of what herbalism and what being a plant practitioner means to me in my own unique way. And I see myself taking these relationships relationships that I've created here and nourishing them and really using them as a resource, using each other as a resource and building together.
Do you have a word of the year?
I don't have a word, but I have themes. And my themes are the sacral chakra, forest bathing, posture, and fermentation and smash fit. My word for this year is blossom.
Well, so far it's been magical. So I'm gonna go with that.
My 2023 word is embodiment. And it's funny how the universe works in mysterious ways, but this entire week I've just been reflecting on overcoming imposter syndrome and really finding ways to love myself where I'm at instead of where I want to be. Or like I can't be happy right now. I want to be happy once I'm here, once I have this certification, once I finish this course. So for me, it's been a lot of reflecting on how can I show up who I am now, even if that's not perfect or what I consider to be perfect, because what is perfect, even if it's not where I think my end goal is. And the way to do that is to embody it. So, and that's like the beauty of this program. Like, I'm gonna try to make a tincture and it may or may not come out good, but someone can try it and let me know. And if it's not great, then I'll try again. And now I know maybe next time add a little bit more alcohol, or maybe next time add a little bit more herb. So embodiment is kind of my mantra, my theme, my word, and like my definition for like what 2023 means to me.
The first word that came to mind when you asked me like what my word of the year is would have been like one of my favorite words from when I was a kid was the word glisten. I love that word, and I love water glistening and things that are shiny. I'm like, I don't know. But understanding, like to really like step back out of your ego and to understand like what is happening and why, and the ripple effects of things, to really like be like how Dina Falcone was like to look at things from like the roof but also with a microscope, like to have that flexibility of comprehension. And I feel like that's a big part of what this school is doing for me. It's like almost like flexing my mind to be able to really compute what's happening.
Gratitude. I would definitely say gratitude.
Abundance is my theme right now. Abundance in all forms.
Yeah.
Limitless.
I think maybe my word is like something having to do with like the movement of like water, maybe like fluidity or something. Yeah, I think the ability to like move and take different shapes and keep like stay whole but change states, and like something about fluidity is there for me.
I don't know what the word is necessarily, but what I keep thinking about is just how the years before this, my roots have just felt a lot more shallow. And this year, my roots feel a lot more deep and grounded, and now I just feel like I'm able to hold myself with more support. And so I don't know what the word is for that, but that's where I'm at right now.
If I had a word for 2023, it would be like openness. I feel like I'm a pretty guarded person in a like more subtle way that I think people don't really pick up on usually. And this schooling experience has been like right now, there's just a lot of stuff happening with trans laws in the country, and I'm feeling very isolated and just very sad, a lot of grief. And so it's kind of hard to be around a lot of people who maybe aren't that related to that story. And so usually I think I've been like just like let me wall myself off from people who can't relate, but I'm trying to have conversations with people and be open to like people caring about something, even if they don't, it's not their story.
Empowerment for me, meaning, you know, we did like a cow ceremony and there's all these things, and just how can the things I'm learning here help me and help others help themselves, whatever that looks like. Maybe empowerment for me. I would say.
So my birthday's usually, well, not usually, it's always in the beginning of the year. It's January 6th, and so usually I spend the day or the morning with my journal and I'm writing out things, and so I come up with like a theme of the year. So it's not really one word, but what came was, this is life. Like, this is your life. And to not be afraid to make leaps and to explore things that are calling for you, because this is it. So, and also not looking and anticipating things, like right now, this is life, and just holding it for what it is.
A word that I have for 2023, there are a few, and I think they're just ideas that I've been working with in 2023. One is judgment. One is judgment. Judgment from others, judgment of myself, and judging others, so working through that. Another one is commitment, which is a word that I'm rolling over from 2022, and that's just the commitment to my life, the commitment to the process. You know, even when things feel stagnant and I might dissociate, just bringing myself back into my body and recommitting and rededicating to this process of life. Another thing is valuing the process. Nothing is a throwaway, nothing is bad, nothing is a loss. Everything has its purpose, and there is always value in the process, and that has brought me so much peace. I wrote stuff down. And the last thing is space. I am creating more space for people. I'm creating more space for goodness to come into my life, for opportunities to come to my life. I'm creating more space in conversations, allowing the awkward moments to settle. I'm creating more space to sit in uncomfortable moments and not run away. I'm creating more space to experience my feelings and pain. I am creating more space physically by spring cleaning and letting go of things that I've been gripping onto, and I've just been I've been creating space for things to just flow, and I think they all tie in together. So I'm super excited to be documenting this, and I'm excited to continue to document the process and see how far we take this thing. Let's go. Arbor Vitae first year student, 2022 into 2023 year. I'm done.